Good evening, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on my part series, The Week That Was College Football History Review, the 1972 college football season. For Week 10, the games are played on November 11th, 1972. Let's get into it. Penn State beat North Carolina State. Penn State was ranked number 10 in the country. They beat North Carolina State by a score of 37-22. The Nittany Lions of Penn State roared out to 8th straight win, scoring 23 points on 315 yards in the first half, while blanking North Carolina State on 53 yards. Penn State quarterback John Hufnagel ran for 2 touchdowns to another, while tailback John Cappelletti finished with 129 yards rushing. Hufnagel and Cappelletti hooked up on a 33-yard touchdown pass for game's opening score. Now, Wolfpack rallied in the fourth quarter for 3 touchdowns as quarterback Bruce Shaw threw for 2 scores, including a 98-yard pass to wide receiver Pat Kinney. Meanwhile, Alabama, number 2 team in the country, beat number 6 Louisiana State 35-21 to battle 2 top 10 teams. Alabama quarterback Terry Davis, native of Louisiana, tossed 2 touchdowns and ran for another as Crimson Tide won the SEC showdown after Tigers scored first on 21-yard quarterback Burt Jones to wide receiver Jimmy Ledoux pass. Davis tied game with 25-yard scoring bullet to wide receiver Wayne Willard after Tide quarterback Bobby McKinney took punt 57 yards into the LSU end. Now the game remained tied until Bama's opening possession of the second half, in which ended with another Davis to Willard touchdown pass, this time for 29 yards. Tide then rolled behind powerful rushing attack, gaining 335 yards with 52 yards coming on halfback Joe the Booze scoring in the run. Davis was leading rusher with 92 yards and threw for 10 for 18 for 157 yards. So Alabama beat Louisiana State, about 2 top 10 teams, number 2 versus number 6, 35-21. Georgia beat Florida 10-7 in Jacksonville. The Bulldogs needed 10 fourth quarter points to pull out the win, with winning 37-yard field goal by kicker Kim Braswell with less than a minute remaining. Gators held 7-0 lead from early in the second quarter when halfback Nat Moore was on a receiving end of a 47-yard touchdown pass by quarterback David Bowden. Georgia used own big play to tie game as quarterback Andy Johnson threw 44 yards to wide receiver Rex Putnam. Late turnover opened door for the Georgia Bulldogs as Florida lost fumble 1 out of 4 turnovers for Gators. On handoff on own 31-yard line, so University of Georgia nose guard like Joe McPipkin made recovery. After 3 runs came up short, Braswell booted winning field goal. Georgia was ranked. It wasn't ranked. It was Florida. No, it wasn't ranked. Both teams wasn't ranked, but what I see. Okay, next, Michigan State upset number 5 Ohio State by a score of 19-12. The Spartans of Michigan State continue to draw inspiration from retiring coach Duffy Daugherty and shock Ohio State behind defense that thoroughly blunted second half efforts of Buckeyes of 31 points per game scores. Michigan State used old Ohio State formula, rushing the ball 74 times for 334 yards, forcing turnovers, which was 5 turnovers, and hitting timely field goals 4 by 6'4", 165-pound Dutch native named Kurt Kadriet and debut. Safety Bill Simpson owned 1 of 2 Spartans, 2 interceptions. So continued big play season with fumble recovery at Buckeyes 6-yard line that set up quarterback Mark Neeson's winning 6-yard touchdown run. And the Buckeyes' only touchdown came on a 20-yard scoring pass from quarterback Greg Hare to tight end Ted Powell. Spartans held freshman sensation tailback Archie Griffin to 42 yards rushing, which was topped by 4 Michigan State players led by halfback Mike Holtz, 93 yards. After the game led up, Ohio State Coach Willie Hayes shoved camera into the face of Los Angeles Times photographer Art Rogers. Iowa State, the number 17 team in the country, played against number 3 Nebraska in this game, resulted in a 23-23 tie. Expecting Iowa State lost chance to beat Huskers for the first time since 1960 when kicker Tom Gojan painfully missed a last-second extra point. Quarterback George Ummensen was star for Iowa State, throwing for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ummensen fashioned a brilliant 70-yard drive in 35 seconds to tie game on a 24-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Willie Jones. Now, Cyclones tailed in like Keith Krepfel, I think it's Keith Krepfel, caught 2 touchdowns while defensive end Merv Krakow was magnificent with 11 tackles, 3 pass knockdowns, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 3 sacks. Nebraska's performance was marred by 8 turnovers and was a far cry from normal championship caliber. Although quarterback David Humm threw for 246 yards, with touchdowns to wingback Johnny Rogers, who had 113 yards receiving on 9 catches of 35 yards and 4 yards. Next, Texas beat Baylor 17-3. Texas was ranked number 9. They beat Baylor 17-3. The score tied at 3-3 entering the fourth quarter. Texas tackle Jerry Sizemore returned to lineup despite badly sprained ankle, and his presence lifted the teammates behind Sizemore's blocking. Longhorns drove 70 yards and 85 yards on the ground to top 2 tight touchdowns to put away pesky Baylor Bears. Fullback Roosevelt Leaks carried the ball 35 times for 162 yards, who gained 92 yards on decisive touchdown drives, capped each with short touchdown run. Baylor defense under first-year coach Grant Teeth held the Longhorns to only 4 first downs through opening 3 quarters as defensive end Roger Gorby sparkled, while tailback Gary Lacey gained 60 yards rushing to lead offense. Next, Texas Christian beat Texas Tech 31-7. Home Frogs were on fire behind quarterback Terry Drennan, scoring on first 4 possessions and adding safety and forging an 18-0 lead early in the second quarter. After Drennan opened scoring with a 6-yard pass to wide receiver Steve Patterson, Purple defense sacked Texas Tech quarterback Joe Barnes in the end zone for 2 points. After the free kick, Horned Frogs sent field goal unit onto field on 4th down at Tech 25-yard line. But quarterback Perry Sin, former starter and team's holder, sprinted right on fake before throwing a screen to halfback Mike Luttrell, who broke 2 tackles en route to touchdown. Luttrell, who had 94 yards rushing on 17 carries, who added 20-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter, and halfback Bill Sadler, who had 100 yards rushing on 19 carries, led TCU ground effort that gained 358 yards. Bryans threw for 144 yards for Red Raiders. Next, Arizona beat Brigham Young by a score of 21-7. Win by Wildcats boosted them close to breaking even mark and kept tied for the WAC lead with 4-1 mark. All scoring occurred in the first half, and Arizona grabbed 14-7 lead as quarterback Bill Demery's 10 touchdown passes of 20 yards to wide receiver Theophilus Bell and 41 yards to wide receiver Barry Dean, sandwiched a 1-yard touchdown run by Cougars tailback Pete Van Valkenburg, who had 30 carries for 155 yards. Then it was BYU's turn, and quarterback Bill August, who earlier had led 92-yard scoring drive, pushed Cougars downfield until Arizona safety Bob White picked off pass at own 22-yard line, set new school return record with 78-yard touchdown sprint. Wildcats were then content heading off to tailback Bobby McCall, who had 151 yards on 34 carries. Next, and last but not least, the Washington Huskies beat UCLA 30-21. UCLA was ranked number 8. Washington wasn't ranked, so this was an upset, as number 8 UCLA was upset by Washington Huskies 30-21. Quarterback Sonny Six Killer returned from 3-week absence to lead Huskies with 212 yards passing, which set the table for 4 touchdown runs by fullback Pete Tagarves. 22 carries, 75 yards for Pete. Bruins negated 348 yards in wishbone rushing by turning ball over 5 times. Still, UCLA looked capable of maintaining its number 8 ranking and early going when it forged a 76-yard and 80-yard drives, 76 yards and 80-yard drives for 14-7 lead in the first quarter. Washington, meanwhile, reeled off 17 points straight for a 24-14 halftime lead, with both Huskies touchdowns following UCLA fumbles. Huskies defense held off any second half comeback by permitting Bruins only 118 yards rushing in final 30 minutes. Now, Washington also halted 2 fourth quarter drives with interceptions by cornerback Roberto Jordan. Leading UCLA rusher was fullback Randy Tyler, who had 108 yards rushing on 13 carries as Huskies defensive alignment forced the Bruins into frequent inside runs. So that concludes a look at Week 10, the week that was college football season review, 1972 college football season. The games that were played during Week 10 of November the 11th, 1972. Let's look at the AP poll as November 13th is concerned. Number 20 was Washington State. Number 19, Missouri. Number 18, Arizona State. 17, Washington. 16, North Carolina. 15, Colorado. 14, UCLA. 13, Tennessee. 12, Iowa State. 11, Auburn. The rest of the top 10 round out as this. Number 10, Notre Dame. Number 9, Iowa State. Number 8, Louisiana State. 7, Texas. 6, Penn State. The rest of the top 5 look like this. Nebraska number 5, Oklahoma number 4, Michigan number 3, number 2, Alabama, and number 1, Southern California. That concludes a look at the recap of the games that were played during Week 10 of November 11th, 1972 for College Football History and Review, the week that was, the 1972 college football season. Please like to subscribe and comment on the channel, do a video to Smack 2 tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.